He's done a lot to help the garden. He just helped us do our in-ground farm over here. That y'all can, it's communal. You can come and pick and take. And there's 2 new herb things there today too. So Josh is a community builder and an expert on organic gardening. So I'm glad to have him here today.
All right.
Okay, so basically what I did was I just brought a bunch of different veggies to show you guys, and I'm going to talk to you guys real quick about preparing your beds and how to be more successful with your garden. Some of the things that we do and we use that I've found to be really helpful. But the main thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was winter gardening here in Texas, because we have a really mild winter, so you're able to grow a lot of different stuff this time of year. And a lot of people think because we get freezes that you can't grow certain things, but there's so many different vegetables. A lot of the ones that I brought here today that actually will go right through the freeze, and you can grow them all the way through the winter. So the things that you can actually grow this time of year. Obviously, like, you know, broccoli, cauliflower, those types of things. But I brought some seed packets here, and I was going to talk to you guys about growing different things from seed. So actually, right now is a really good time to start planting carrots, beets. You can grow lettuce, radishes, cilantro, sorrel. All these are really good for this time of year. There's one seed packet I brought, and I'll pass it around to you guys. But this is Gailon, or Chinese kale, and this grows really great in Texas, and it's really prolific. It produces a lot, and you can get quite a bit of production out of it. It's kind of similar to like broccoli rabe, I guess, but it has a sweeter flavor. I think it's even sweeter than broccoli, and a little bit more tender, and you get so much more production. You can use the whole stalk of it, and it's usually, we just sowed some at our store over at Redemption's about like 2 weeks ago, and it's already shot up, and it's doing really good. Sorry, my hands are, I was playing with the Malabar spinach earlier. Oh, did it blow around? You can pass it around if you want to see it.
Have you ever had a clown passing stuff around?
Never. This is the first for me. Having a clown helper never happened before. So anyway, but one of the things that I guess to know about gardening, and we do all organic, so I'm going to talk to you guys all about organic gardening. But the main thing that you want to do is prepare your beds, and you want to start by adding amendments to your soil. You can plant directly into the soil. Here in the garden, I'm sure that people have been growing here for a while. The soil's pretty good, but your average yard is going to be pretty poor soil here in Dallas. We have a lot of clay, and it doesn't really lend itself very well to vegetables without amending it. So the main thing that you want to add to it is going to be some sort of compost. You can use, there's so many different types of compost out there. I recommend getting a compost that's really well broken down, like a mushroom compost, or there's a compost by Ladybug brand called Revitalizer, and it's basically what it is. It's compost that's cooked for a while, and so it doesn't have chunks of wood or anything like that, and that's going to be a really rich compost that you're going to want to add to the soil. So you want to put compost in. We always put in different types of manure into our soil, so we use like an organic composted cattle manure or chicken poultry manure, something like that. If you have chickens or know somebody who has chickens, you can usually get chicken litter from them. People are usually willing to give it to you. But it works really great. And the reason that you want that is because it's got a lot of nitrogen in it. And it really adds to the soil. The soil here in Dallas is actually really good, the clay. The problem with it is the plants can't get into the clay to access those nutrients. So we really have to add to it. So you want to put your compost in, put your manure in, and then add some things like either, worm castings or, green sand. the more of these things that you add, the better, because it's going to loosen up your soil. It's going to make your soil a lot richer. So, but I definitely, if you're only going to add a couple of things, I recommend just doing the manure and the compost, because that's going to give you a really good start. I brought this. We sell this product. It's really inexpensive. This is like $6, and it's like a bed prep, and it's got a little bit of like fertilizer and worm castings and green sand and dry molasses. So all those things that are going to be sort of like food for the soil. It's all right here. It's kind of a premix, and this will cover about 25 square feet. So this little bag, you don't need a lot. You just need to put that on there, and then if you add your compost and your manure, you're good to go. What now?
What's green sand?
Green sand is actually it's just a type of sand, really. That's Texas. It's in parts of Texas further south from here, and it's basically really rich in iron. It's probably on average like 19 to 22% iron. And so iron is one thing, a nutrient in the soil that isn't very readily available here in North Texas. There's other parts of Texas where it is, but here it's not. So a lot of times, especially if you're going to plant like trees or shrubs or fruit trees or things like that, you probably do want to add some green sand or iron. Green sand's I guess the easiest way to get iron in the soil, but there's other products out there like actinol iron. It's also an easy organic source of iron. But that's what you would use green sand for. So anyway, when you're putting in your soil, I always tell people, if you want to be successful with your vegetable garden, it's important to go ahead and spend the time amending the soil. You're going to just be more productive overall. And then also fertilizing is really important with vegetables. If you can increase your yields. A lot of times people say like they grow their broccoli or they grow their peppers, and they're like, oh, they're never as big as they are at the store, or they don't ever look as good as the ones that I bought at Whole Foods or something like that. And the reason is because organic growers fertilize, just like conventional growers. They just fertilize with organic products. And you can fertilize, especially like tomatoes, peppers, all that stuff, fertilize really, really heavy. And I fertilize my tomatoes like twice a week when I'm growing in the summer. And in my broccoli, I fertilize it about once a week. And what I use is, this is like John's recipe. It's like a liquid, basically kind of like a compost tea with fertilizer in it. And you put 2 or 3 tablespoons per gallon of water. So this makes probably 30 gallons. And you basically just water with that once a week. And you can water over the plant because it's also a foliar feed, so you can just douse the whole plant with it, and it gets in the soil as well. But this is going to have phosphorus, potassium, and nitrogen, so it's got everything that you need. Plus, it's got earthworm castings and molasses and fish emulsion. So it's got all this really good stuff. It smells bad, but it works really good. And the smell goes away really quick. So anyway, I think that it's important to know the amending the soil and then fertilizing, and then kind of knowing what to grow and when to grow certain things. So what you can seed right now, like if you wanted to just go home today and start things, you could definitely do beets and carrots. Broccoli and cauliflower, it's a little bit late to grow from seed. I would recommend getting starts for that, like plants. Most of the nurseries around right now would have them.
2 bags of bulbs.
And then you can do things like leafy greens, so chards, kale, lettuces. One thing people don't know about lettuce, you can seed lettuce all through the winter. We planted some in December last year, and even 2 years ago, we had that really hard freeze for like a week. My lettuce laid down and looked like it was dead, and then when the weather warmed up, it started bursting back up and kind of came back to life. Cilantro, I brought cilantro. Cilantro is really a winter herb. It loves the cold weather. It'll go through, when they had that hard freeze 2 years ago, the cilantro didn't even phase it. It just kept going. It was growing during that time. It wasn't even slowed down. So cilantro will go like crazy all winter long. I brought plants of cilantro, but I like to seed it because it's so easy and it grows so easy. You'll get so much more cilantro by seeding it. The same thing with lettuce. I like to do lettuce in like waves, so I'll plant like a row of lettuce, let it come up, and then about like 2 to 3 weeks later, I'll plant another row, and that way I kind of have like a cycle going of lettuce. And I don't thin my lettuce out like people. I just actually pick it as it's growing, and I'll just kind of do a salad and then let it grow and let the other ones grow. And you can let 1 or 2 plants form into a head of lettuce if you want, but the best way to grow lettuce is just to seed it and then just pick it as you need it. That way you have kind of ongoing lettuce. And the same thing with radishes. I love radishes, but if you planted this whole package of radishes, you're going to have like 200 radishes already at the same time. And nobody can eat that much radish, or maybe they can. I can. But you want to do with radishes the same thing. And the great thing about radishes that I love is they're only a 30-day crop, sometimes even as early as 28 days. So if you put it in the ground and it sprouts, like a month later, you've got radishes. So it's really quick, it's really easy, and you just take the seeds and probably plant, 20 of them in a row, and then about 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, plant another 20, and then you're going to kind of have like a wave of radishes going for you all year. And radishes go through the cold, no problem. So this time of year, and the great thing about radishes, you can grow them all the way until the really hot part of the summer. But I always do that with seed. Another one that I really love that I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with, but it's sorrel. And it grows great here in Texas. And sorrel is cold weather and warm weather, so it's kind of really unique. It'll go all through the summer and through the winter, and it perennializes and gets really big. And if you've never had sorrel, it's like a lemony flavor. It's really good in salads. It literally has like a really lemony bite. The more you chew it, it gets more lemony. It's great in soups, but that's one thing that I grow from seed, and I really recommend that. Yeah, of course. You can have radishes. These radishes that I grow are these French breakfast radishes. I'll let you guys see that too. Those are my favorite. They're kind of an elongated radish. It's red with a white tip, and they're not as spicy, I guess. Yeah, they're more mild. And then, I already talked about beets. So I'm going to go through and show you guys some of the plants that I brought here, because these are all kind of like my favorite things. And then after the class is over, I'm just going to give all this stuff away, so you guys can feel free to come to me. Yeah. Well, what I would recommend is if you're gonna start a garden, for instance, I would find the plot that you're gonna do or the section that you're gonna do, and then I would take those amendments, like a bag of compost, a bag of manure, and then do till it into the soil. You want to go at least 6 inches. You don't have to go so deep. And you can actually kind of build that bed up with a little bit of compost and manure as well. But what that does, adding up those amendments, is over time those break down, and that's going to make the soil richer. So, but it's important to get it tilled in to start with. If you just put it on the top of the soil, you're not really doing anything for the roots, because the reason you want to till that in is to make those nutrients accessible to the roots. And so at least about 6 inches. And most vegetables are pretty shallow rooted. Their roots tend to grow out as opposed to down. And so if you just do about 6 inches, that's plenty of soil. So you don't have to till really deep. Yeah, literally. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, it's like not very much at all. So. But anyway, so I brought a couple of different seeds. This is cardoon. They grow really well. It's like an artichoke. They get huge. You need like 6 feet of space if you're going to grow cardoons, because they'll get as big as this table. And it's all
What do you eat? What do you eat?
You eat it, it's just like the artichoke. You eat it, like if you ever go to like Morocco or something, they do cardoon instead of artichoke. And so you'll see it in the markets over there like crazy. So it's really popular over there and all around the Mediterranean. It's really popular. You really eat the heart of it. The outside of it is just like an artichoke, so you want to kind of cut the cardoon and eat it. A lot of people here, well, most people here grow cardoon as ornamental. They don't eat it as much. But like I was saying, around the Mediterranean area, they actually eat it a lot. So, but it's really good. It's just like an artichoke, and it gets you. And cardoons will produce and produce and produce. You'll get like 20 or more, little artichokes out of it. So it's a really good one.
So what do you do? Steam it and then dip it in butter?
Yeah, you can steam it. You can. I like eating things raw. I eat a lot of raw stuff. So I actually like raw artichokes. It's really good. But yeah, just lightly steaming it. You can also like thinly slice it and put it into salads. It's like a nice kind of like crisp for salads if you do want to eat it raw. But these are great for winter time. They're not going to be summer thing because it's too hot here, so they'll almost die in the summer, like completely. And then I brought chard. Swiss chard is a really good one. This is rhubarb, which is just ruby red chard. So rhubarb is really just a chard. And that's a really good one to grow. The good thing about chard is it can go through the summer as well. So it's a winter or summer one. Spinach is another thing. I usually do spinach from seed as well, but we have plants of it. It's definitely more of a cool weather thing. It'll go through to the summer, but as soon as it starts getting really hot, it's going to start this one out. And then we have dinosaur kale, which I love. It's the most nutritious kale for you. I put that in like soups or I just put it in everything. I love it. But it's great for the winter, and it's another one that like even during the freezes, it doesn't really go away. So let's see what else do I have. Oh, this is a cool one. It's a little bit different. This is actually parcel celery or cutting celery, and so it's actually a type of celery that you use the leaves. It's like a foliage, so it's kind of like,
It's like parsley.
It's just like parsley. It tastes just like parsley. It tastes just like celery, but it looks like parsley. And it's got, it's not real fibrous like regular celery is. So a lot of people use this like in salads. You can just sprinkle a little bit in and have kind of freshen up your salad. But this is great. It gets big. It doesn't get as big as parsley, but it does get big. And then I have parsley. Parsley's a great winter herb for here. And it's a host plant for butterfly larvae too. So it's parsley. Yeah, parsley's it's the host plant for swallowtail butterflies. And so it's right now at my store I've got like swallowtail larvae all over the parsley and the fennel. And then we have salad burnet, which is awesome. Have you guys ever tried this or heard of this? I'll pass it around and break off a little leaf and just try it if you don't want. It tastes like cucumber, and so it's salad burnet, and it's really good for like a cucumber flavor in your salad. Some people don't like cucumber because it can make you gassy or something like that. And so, yeah, exactly. And so this is a great alternative that you can have cucumber flavor without let's see. That one's one of my favorite. This is a different type of spinach. It's red vein spinach. I like it better than regular spinach. It's a lot milder and sweeter flavored, so I love that guy. And then this is red vein spinach. I think they call it Beaujolais or something like that. Beaujolais. And it's a French variety that they started growing here a lot, and it's really good. And then this is another herb that I love, and nobody knows about it really here in the U.S. But over in like England and France, they use it a lot. It's called lovage, and it's got a really good mix of like celery and cilantro, and it's great. I'll pass this around too, so you guys can check it out if you want to try it. It's really strong. Yeah, that you cook with, and it's really good for like beans or peas. I like black-eyed peas in the summer, and I put this as black-eyed peas, and I think it's celery and cilantro is what I describe it as a mix between the two, and it's great. The salad burnet goes all through the winter, and it'll get really big, and you'll get these big leaves on it. This is really pot bound right now. It needs to be taken out to be on the roots. But if you put this, it's not going to do that well in the window. It really does want to be like outside. If it's a big window box, Outside. I thought you meant inside. Yeah, outside. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that'll be fine. But that one's a really good one. Let's see, what else? Oh, another one is nasturtiums. I don't know if you guys know about nasturtiums. Everybody knows about the flower of them, which is edible too. But the good thing about nasturtium that I love is actually the leaf, and I put it in my salad all the time. It actually has like a peppery flavor. It's like yeah. Pass that around. You guys can try that if you want. It's spicy, but like not too spicy. And it's delicious. I love it. But if you don't like it, hopefully everybody's liking these things. I had one lady try this one time and she was like, yeah, the flowers don't really have a flavor, but they're edible. But the leaf is really kind of like this peppery bite to it. It's really good. And then the other really good things for this time of year, the last thing, I'll stop talking, is bronze fennel and regular fennel and dill. Those are all really good winter herbs. They're all host plants for butterfly larvae as well. So swallowtails, giant swallowtails, all of those, they're going to be really good attractors for butterflies. And it gets... What? Oh, cool. More complicated. So those are that's really all of the plants that I brought to talk about today. And if you guys have any questions about anything or want to
that does have a peppery taste.
You guys can come
Where
see
does
me.
that grow? Where does I don't really know how artichokes grow, so where does the thing show up?
So
Is it the
basically,
roots?
these leaves are gonna just kind of continue to fold out, and it's gonna open up, and it's gonna kind of just go and go and go and go, and then about up here, it's gonna shoot up a stalk, and there's gonna be a flower. And basically, it's thistle, so it opens up, and it'll make a really beautiful purple flower with the flat top, and it's actually a beautiful flower. And that's what most people grow it for. If you go to the Arboretum right now, they've got it everywhere in all their pots over there and stuff. They did. They changed it all the time, so maybe not there now. But they have that, and it does really.
It starts having the...
Yeah, it'll send up the one flower, and then out of the sides, there'll just be stalks of like those flowers coming up. And what you do is you cut the flower before it opens, because it's like an artichoke, and then the flower will kind of come out and open up like that. And once that opens, all of the energy and everything goes towards the flower, and you lose the bulb that's in there. So that's what happens. What now? Bees love it. Yeah. Especially when it flowers, they go crazy.
No, with the cilantro, once it flowers, it pretty much dies, right?
It does, and that's why you grow cilantro in the winter, because it won't flower very, very fast. It'll grow and grow and grow and grow.
Now, can you just pick the flowers out and it'll keep growing?
In the summer, it'll bolt like really quick because the heat, it's like gonna die, and so it'll just send up a flower and then it's gone. You can't use it anymore. But in the winter, you'll just have foliage, and we eat on it all winter. I have some rows of it planted at the store right now, and you seed one packet and you've got enough cilantro to feed like the neighborhood easy. So and if you ever let cilantro seed, just watch out, because you're never going to get rid of it. It will be everywhere in your yard. My mom and dad hate me because I planted cilantro there one time, and then I let it go to seed, and now they have cilantro just like growing in the yard, everywhere. So all right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
That was awesome.
I'm going to do a tour of the garden right now. So if anybody wants to go on a tour of the garden, I'm going to do one. And we also have, you want to support Plop, you can make a donation for the beer or the wine or champagne.
You should, yeah.
And we have cookbooks and candles for sale over there, made by Plop people. So thank you so much. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, no problem.